book of 2nd Esdras chapter 10 and verse 57. For thou art blessed above many other, and art called with the highest, and so are but few, the elect. But tomorrow at night thou shalt remain here, and so shall the highest show thee visions of the high things, which the Most High will do unto them that dwell upon the earth in the last days. So I slept that night in another, like as he commanded me, angel. All praise to Yahweh, by Shem HaMashai, Wahara Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect that seeking to be the elect of the nation of Israel. They're scattered abroad amongst the heathen, some look like the heathen. Again, the 144,000 preachers, teachers, and prophets. Shalom. This is our forefather Ezra. He received a vision from the angel. Was it Uriel, if I'm not mistaken? We received visions of the end times, which is now. Alright, this was during the Medo-Persian Empire. Alright, the Medo-Persian Empire. The rebuilding of the Second Temple. Alright, well, it was in the beginning stages of rebuilding Jerusalem, and also the beginning stages of building the Second Temple. Alright, so this how far back it was. And our forefather Ezra, as you said, Esdras, which is the Great Western Ezra, who was a Levite priest, received a vision from Yahweh Shema Shabbat with an angel concerning the last days. Alright, the end times. Alright, we got this video. So these words are faithful and true. Alright, the words of Yahweh Shema Shabbat are faithful and true.
Know that America really wants to be back.
Now I'm gonna stop it at the 5-minute mark. We can start from the beginning. But this is Andrew Bustamante. Says America isn't ready for what's about to happen in November. Well, he's speculating, and we don't know for sure, but we can tell you what prophecy is. Now, me personally, I don't think it's going to be a midterm. I strongly believe that Trump and the administration is going to throw a wrench and cause all this havoc and chaos to break forth, and it's going to kill the midterms. Alright, all the votes, all the things that they're trying to do or putting in place to avoid voting, mail-in ballots and things of that nature, man. So me personally, I'm speaking as a man. Me personally, this is what I see. Just me. I don't see it being the midterms. Now, what he's going to tell you, all hell and chaos is going to happen eventually. I believe it's going to be soon, very soon. This year soon. Okay, around midterm time soon. This is what I believe. Alright? Due to the hardships and the lies and things of that nature. Now, our forefather Ezra received these visions. Alright? Concerning what's going to happen at the end. Alright? How you know we're at the end? Well, we just read it to you. And we're about to get this right here. It's at the end. 2nd Esdras chapter 13 and verse 31. Let's start at 29. The water have a small shot. It says, really can start up because it's going into the war of heaven, World War III. Alright? See, all these things are going on at the same time. Escalation of war, global economic collapse, turmoil, civil war, them bringing forth this digital beast system, new beast system, which is the digital system, and to be led by the mark of the beast, the MOTB, the RFID chip, on either hand on your forehead. But let's start right here at 29. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. Deliver who? The elect of Israel, as he did in Egypt. See, Yahweh Shema Shaz Yahweh Shema Shah is not going to deliver all Israel like he did in Egypt. No, he's only going to deliver the remnant, the elect of Israel. Alright, and destroy 2/3 along with Babylon. Alright. It says, and he shall, that's why another reason Isaiah, all throughout the scripture why Yahweh Shema Shah always says America is going to be likened unto Sodom and Gomorrah. And that's why Yahweh Shah said, hey, if that city receive not that prophet, it'll be better off than the judgment of Sodom and Gomorrah. I jacked it up, but you know what I'm talking about. But that's what Yahweh Shah is talking about. He's talking about Babylon. All right. Also, the cities in which we preach, Yahweh Shema Shah got the prophets to tell the people personally, you're going to get it the worst. The people in that area is going to get it the worst. But ultimately, all Babylon is going to be destroyed. All right? Hey, because the men of Yahweh Shema Shah, Lord willing, one of them are everywhere. You can't go on a vacation without seeing a brother on the highways and hedges, man. All right? Now, 2 Esdras 13 and 30, and he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. So that's global war, man. That's civil war and all everywhere, most definitely over here in America. All right, that's anarchy. That's collapse. That's hardships. That's stress. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the sign shall happen when I showed thee before, and then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest ascending as a man. Acts the 1st chapter. So, hey, we're at the end. All right, we're literally at the end. All right, we are literally at the end. All right, and it's going into again the war in heaven. All right, we start reading down some more. Now let's get right here, 2 Esdras 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and debating one another. They shall not regard the kings nor princes, and the course of their acts shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. For because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the house shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy thy house with the sword, and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So this is, we're literally witnessing the end play out. Now let's get right here. Let's let my man right here speak.
Your next fuel reward starts with your favorite drink. Buy any handcrafted beverage and unlock a...
Know that America really...
And you saw by way of his thumbnail, it says, we're effed. You Babylonians are effed. Us as a hopeful elect, is seeking to be the elect of the nation of Israel, calling on the names of Yahweh Shema Shai, spirit, truth, and sincerity. We're in great case. 2/3 Israel, you Babylonians, you're effed. It says America isn't ready for what's about to happen in November. Hey, as our forefather Ezra said, that's how bad it's going to be. There's going to be so much judgment going out. Hey, our forefather Ezra saw himself here and he was scared. Alright? So, hey, we're going to be scared of Yahweh Shema Shai. It's to be so much as we are now. Alright? We're going to reverence Yahweh Shema Shai even more. Fear him more and respect him more. Because of the judgments. Hey, just like our forefather Ezekiel said in Ezekiel 9, he said, Lord, you can destroy all the house of Israel. Yahweh Shema Shai said, hey, ain't they wicked? So it's going to be like this in these times. This will be so bad, man. We're going to be thinking about the things that we've done in the past, and we're going to be praying for mercy, man. Hey, that Habakkuk 2, in the midst of your wrath, please remember mercy. You know? 2 Esdras 16 and 17. Woe was me, who would deliver me in those days? You see? It's going to be bad. Alright? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Alright? And these are things that's going on, man. Alright? And it's going to be great death. We about to see great death globally. But hey, we over here in Babylon, as Elder Pastor Hall always says, or what the Holy Spirit, which is biblical. The main focus is Babylon, America. Alright, so these things are here and they're happening. Alright, and when all hell break loose, and when you go into chaos and people not obeying the government, that's no control, that's anarchy, man. That's complete anarchy, no rule. Alright, and it's coming very soon, as we read in 2 Esdras 15 and 19. Hey, the hardships for the great tribulation and for the lack of food was going to water, food, resources, medicine, not having their money. You see, the banks taking people's money, holding people's money. All this stuff gonna happen. Hey, power grid go out. Hey, you ain't having access to your money, to no gas. Your food gonna spoil you. You name it. Electronic devices, no phone calls. Nowhere to find out what's going on. As it says in the Isaiah the 24th chapter, there shall be a cry for wine in the streets. People gonna know what's going on, man. They gonna want some comfort and answer, but they not gonna be able to get it. The government ain't gonna give it to them. They hide it. They gonna go in and hide it. All right, the people not gonna know the answers. The only ones gonna know the answer are the prophets. You know, a few truthers will know what's going on, but we know what's going on by way of the Holy Spirit. We know that there is no light at the end of the tunnel for Babylon, for these Babylonian citizens. Alright? That includes 2/3 of Israel. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent for scourges for a moment, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. And that's you being set on your leads, 2/3. Alright? Behold, victory shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they should think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. This hadn't even kicked in yet. It's about to happen. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. So we're going to see all this, man. Very soon. I believe it's going to be this year. It ain't going to be no midterm. I do not see it being a midterm, man. Alright? Everyone hates Trump. He and his feelings. He's delusional. The elites on his back. That Yahoo on his back. He's the bad guy and he don't like it. Alright? So hey, he wanting to stay in power. You know? So hey, I just don't see it being a midterm. But we're gonna see. Well, all hell gonna break loose soon. Just know it's coming. So don't hold this man to what he's saying in November. I just know that hey, soon is coming.
There is a reality that has been there that is coming to the fore, that people are starting to realize. And it's not an encouraging reality. Whether it's the reality that the American president that was reelected by the American people is a buffoon, whether that's the reality that's coming to fore, a reality that many people thought to be true, other people thought couldn't possibly be true, and I believe that what we will see in November is a huge, what I call a blue slap, where people will vote blue not because they believe in blue, but just because they want to put a cap on what the president can do by controlling both the Senate and the House. Yeah. Because they've come to the conclusion that the president isn't working in the best interest of the United States, maybe doesn't know how to run a country, and maybe is, in fact, out for his own legacy more so than the American dream, the American promise, the American ideals. If there are still Americans who even believe in those ideas. There are so many Americans right now that are just trying to survive. And when you're up against not being able to feed your kids versus parroting the American promise, the American dream, you're going to default to feeding your own kids, even if it means stealing bread from your neighbor, right? So we're in a very real place right now. It's fascinating to me that earlier in the conversation you said that you're anticipating, I'm not going to use the correct words, but 10 years before we kind of unfuck this mess,
No. Before we implode.
Before we implode.
The debt will blow up.
So you've given us this 10-year timeline. And what I find fascinating is completely separate from this conversation. I've been talking about the United States going through 10 very difficult years. And I've been talking about it for maybe 2 years now.
If you really want to look at it, man, that started about 2019, 2020. Lining up with the elites' agenda. They want these things done by 2030. Alright? Really started 2019, 2020 with CV. Alright? He giving them 10 years. Of course, their calculation, but it makes sense. Hey, you're going back to 2019, 2020, and the elites want these things to be put in place by 2030. By 2030, meaning functioning, operating in place, and being pushed before 2030. And we're seeing these things happening, man. Alright? We're seeing these things happen.
Because of our ideological kind of fits right now, our ideological convulsions right now.
Between the left and the right?
Between ourselves, between what we all believe to be true about America, separate of politics, but what we believe to be true about justice and checks and balances and democracy and freedom of, you name it, freedom of the press, freedom of speech, the right to bear arms, trial in front of a panel of your peers, like everything we've ever believed about America has essentially been challenged and proven that there's a way around it in just the last 2 to 4 years. And the rise of the populist politician isn't something that we have to attribute to Donald Trump. It goes all the way back to Barack Obama. So we have these, just like you were saying, we've spawned a demon of the left and we've spawned a demon of the right. And the question is, how do we get back to a world where we aren't spawning demons? We don't have to spawn angels, but how do we get to a place where we're not pulling forth the most aggressive damnation, conflict-oriented, manipulative forces? How do we find a way back to checks and balances? How do we find a way back to inviting cordial conversation with different points of view? Not just in front of a camera like this, but in front of, or like actually at the congressional floor. How do we get back to that? How do we stop encouraging extreme activity? Because we spent 20 years fighting extremists only to now essentially be radicalizing ourselves. And that's not in our best interest if we plan on maintaining our position as the world's wealthiest country and kind of the global leader. If we plan on giving up that role, we can do whatever the fuck we want. But if you want to keep that role, we have to make some very rapid corrections, because to my earlier point about money goes where money goes, wealthy people follow their money. And where they diversify their wealth, they also start to diversify their own security and their own safety. And one of the things that makes America so powerful is not just our wealthy indigenous Americans, it's all the wealth around the world that chooses to come here and invest in this economy and invest in this place, this property, this system. And if I'm a wealthy Malaysian, I'm looking at some other options right now besides just the United States to put my wealthy money.
Okay, you've asked the right question. Now, no vagaries. How do we get back into that place?
I don't know that America really wants to be back in that place.
It can't get back. It's not going to get back. It's over. As we just read, when all hell break loose, that's it. Bye bye Babylon. This your kingdom. Our Lord and Savior Yahushua is going to return during that time when all hell break loose. Alright? As we read in the prophets, and you get that Luke, I think it's 12, around the 49th verse, if I'm not mistaken. He said, I came to bring fire on earth. What shall I be if we already kindled? As we read in 2nd Esdras 13 and 15. So, getting back to how it was, no. What they're going to do is implement this beast system, this digital system, this mark of the beast. Alright? And it's still out here, war's still going to be going on. People will be raping, robbing, and murdering, stealing, and killing. You can have the 15-minute city, these safe haven zones. Alright? Which is not going to be for everybody, only those who comply without a need to take the MOTB. But it's going to be straight up turmoil, chaos, sickness, and death going on, famine. Alright? So once everything hit, it get chaotic, it's going to be beyond January 6th, man. That's light work. Alright? It ain't going to be no returning back to how it was. It ain't going to be no restoring order and peace, man. Alright? So, hey, we're most definitely witnessing the end, man. And it's over, man. I mean, it's literally over. So, hey, continue to stay prayed up in the names of Yahweh, Shema, Shalom. Hopefully, I can see you next show.